think if Janelle wants to build, then she should definitely build. The thing is, I know they haven't paid off the property.
I don't think we're going to be building on this property by spring. Coming up with money to pay off KODY'S, very difficult. Coming up with a down payment on a house, not hard. We could have done that, but Janelle was refusing to do that.
Hey friends, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It's August 15th, 2022, Tuesday. It's 5 days away from the new season of Sister Wives. The very first teaser is out. It is from Us Weekly, and it's a clip about Kody, Janelle arguing about Coyote Pass, and Christine and Janelle discussing their relationship now that they are not sister wives. And in this clip, we're going to be back in 2021, I know, and Kody and Janelle are still fighting about this casita that she wants to build and that Kody isn't making her life a priority. Now, if you recall, it was last year that it was revealed that Robyn Brown took a large portion of the equity that Mary and Janelle made when they sold their homes in Las Vegas. And it was that money that she used for her down payment to purchase her home that she bought with Kody for about $900,000. And it was also revealed that Janelle had been looking at the bank accounts and had noticed that money was being spent in places, and they were spending the money from the family bank account on things that maybe were not needed and wouldn't benefit the whole family. There was sort of this underlying rumbling and sort of implication, or that Janelle was kind of implying to Kody that, listen, you're using our money when you're not supposed to, and you're taking our money and acting like it's your money, but it's really our money. So like there was this whole thing about Kody stealing from the wives, Kody and Robyn are stealing from their wives, yada, like blah, 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 right? Okay, so this season, we're back in 2021, and they're still arguing about Coyote Pass, which, by the way, they have paid off the property today. They paid it off in June. Nothing is happening on Coyote Pass, by the way. So again, all of this is just a storyline, and it means really nothing in the grand scheme of things. But it's kind of building up to this problem between Janelle and Kody, and that has to do with if Kody wants to make things a priority, he will, and he does, but he won't make things a priority when he doesn't want to. And if you don't obey him and give him what he wants and act how he wants, he's not going to do what you need, which is kind of what he said last year. Like, he didn't like that Janelle was not doing what he wanted, and a lot of it had to do with her relationship with Christine. So this brand new clip actually starts out with the two, Janelle and Christine, talking about their relationships now as not being married to the same man, but how they still believe that they're sister wives, and then it goes into the building situation. So let's dive into today's topic. Before we do, can you do me a big favor and give this video a thumbs up? Also, please subscribe to my channel if you have not yet subscribed by clicking on the subscribe button down below. Click on the bell so you can get notified of any time I go live or new content loads. And please leave a comment if you have something to say, and share this video with your friends. So let's start with the very first part of this clip.
Consider Janelle my sister wife. It's super weird, I think. But it's just that we're not really just friends.
Christine and I, especially when she first came into the family, I just did not get her. I thought she was a princess. I did. And she thought I was bossy.
When I married Kody, I didn't really even know Janelle that much. Like, at first I thought we were okay.
So Christine and I have joked, are we still sister wives? We both say yes, even though it's not really the traditional sense of the word.
All right, so they go back in time into their history, and they both admit that when they first married Kody, or when they first got together, they weren't really the best of friends. And actually, I think it's kind of interesting if you think about it this way, because everyone on the show and all the fans are really like rallying around the fact that these two get each other now and they're buddies now, but they weren't always buddies. They weren't really buddies until they both stopped liking Kody, and then once they both started to like walk away from Kody, they became closer. So when they were no longer romantic rivals, they were finally able to be friends, which should tell you a lot about what we've seen on the show over the course of the last 13 seasons. All of these women were romantic rivals. All of them disliked each other, but once At least some of them left Kody. They became friends. Now, Mary and Robyn are not friends. So that's part one, and then they continue.
It's so weird to consider the whole sister wife word, but then I had to think about all the other people in the world that tell me, hey, I consider my best friend my sister wife. And I'm like, heck, if they consider their best friend their sister wife, I can consider Janelle my sister wife.
You like it better than your fifth wheel, the apartment?
Well, yes, it's definitely simpler. See, I thought we would be so much further along in the building process, but that's just taken a long time.
So the building, how's it going? You're still gonna...
No, I have my plans.
For your house?
Yeah.
Christine says that because other people can be sister wives, she can be sister wives with Janelle, even though they're not sister wives. I'll be honest, I don't know a lot of people in the real world that call their best friends sister wives. Maybe fans of the show, but I don't know anyone personally, and I cover this show. And I've covered this family for years. I've never referred to any of my friends as sister wives. I would never refer to them as sister wives because, frankly, I don't share my husband, and I never will, girls and boys. He's mine, not yours, and you're not my sister wife. You can be my friend, but you cannot be my sister wife. But that's fine. And then they're talking about going through stuff as Janelle's looking at boxes, and looks like they're moving some stuff into Janelle's home. And then Janelle brings up this plan that she has made for this casita, which I want to remind you guys has never happened, will never materialize. She has not started building. There has been no building. I literally just looked on the website of Coconino County. Absolutely no permits have been pulled. The property has been paid off and no building has started. Janelle did spend the summer and is currently living in her RV, but she's at an RV park now and not on her property. So this whole casita thing is dead in the water. But let's see what she says.
I mean, I will say, if anything has come out of this crazy summer where I made a gamble, it wasn't awesome, like, I have a plan. I know what the property looks like. I have at least a freaking driveway out of this whole thing.
Okay, I want to see.
Yes.
When do you think you're gonna break ground and stuff? Any ideas?
Spring, probably.
No, really?
Yeah, and then it takes about, for these little houses, like 6 months, 9 months.
I think if Janelle wants to build, then she should definitely build. The thing is, I know they haven't paid off the property.
By all accounts, this is December of 2021 or November of 2021, because that's where we left off with last season. So I want to just say this. She thinks that they're going to break ground by the spring of 2022, which now we know doesn't happen. And this is also before Janelle and Kody split up. So obviously this is happening, this discussion is happening before their relationship implodes. And the implosion of their relationship ultimately is what I would assume stops the fact of her building on this property. So she put together and spent all this money on these plans, which I'm sure were paid for and used by the show because they can actually get reimbursed for the different things that they use that will become material for the show. So say they're going to build. They might try to have some of the builders get paid for or get free promotions, which didn't work. And part of the reason why they never built on Coyote Pass is that Kody could not get anyone to do work on the property for advertising on the show. She's showing off these plans, but you know, the stumbling block here for them is that they haven't paid off the property. Now, if you remember, Janelle had mentioned that she could build without paying off the property because she could put it on an existing lot that was paid off, but that even when they rezoned everything, would still be a part of that same parcel. Regardless, this never happened.
I don't think we're going to be building on this property by spring. Coming up with money to pay off Kody Pass, very difficult. Coming up with a down payment on a house, not hard. We could have done that, but Janelle was refusing to do that.
So it's just small.
All right, so as you can see, Kody is gaslighting and saying that Janelle could have bought Christine's house. Because remember how they got into that big fight last year about how, you know, he wanted her to purchase he wanted her to purchase Christine's house because Christine's house needed a buyer. Well, I looked at the sales price of Christine's house and she sold the property for $700,000. Now, had she, say, purchased the house from from Christine, say she put down 20%. 20% would have been $140,000. Janelle owed about $140,000 on the property she had at Coyote Pass. So she could have taken the money she used for that house down payment of 20%, $140,000, and paid off her parcel of Coyote Pass. But instead, Kody is saying, well, he's just using it as an excuse, frankly. He didn't want to build. He doesn't want to build. He doesn't want to do anything on Coyote Pass. He's mad at Janelle because she's like against him and not being like Robyn. He's just being a gaslighter here. And again, it's the same amount of money. And ultimately, they did pay off the property and still nothing's happened. So Kody says, oh, Janelle, it would have been easier to buy a house. Mind you, she didn't want to buy that house. She didn't want to live in that house. It wasn't the house she wanted. She accused Kody of wanting to use her credit for that house and that it was a house that she would be stuck in for eternity that she didn't want. You can also now, today, spend the night at this house. It's an Airbnb.
You know, I think the biggest problem in forward movement is just this argument that the family has whether we have the ability to pay off the property or not. See, Kody's like, we don't have the money. I'm like, we have the money. We're in the same situation we were in when we gave Christine the money for her house, and definitely when we gave Robyn the money for her house. I just feel like nobody's watching out for me. Nobody's prioritizing me. It's not a 5-alarm fire.
All right, so we're ending the season. When we ended the season, they were fighting about property. When we start the season, they're fighting about property. And we know now that this property has been paid off. We also know that she's not building there. We know that there was accusations last season about Kody and Robyn spending money on their stuff and not like as it was theirs, as though the family pot was for them, right? And instead of using it for the family. You know, they were going into it like it was their piggy bank, and Janelle claims that the money in there is recouped, and so they have the money to do that, but Kody says, we don't have the money. Now, Kody claims that he doesn't have the money, and he has money for a down payment, but not to build. Building is a lot more expensive than actually buying. I don't know how much it would have cost her to build this casita. I have zero clue. She didn't do it. I think it's money, but I also think that if they would have wanted to build, they would have. I think if they wanted to make a priority, they would have. But I think Kody didn't want to build, and I don't think they wanted to build. I don't think any of them wanted to build at this property once the one house idea got imploded, and also once all of their families started falling apart. And once Kody started demanding that she conform and become like Robyn and be loyal to him and be submissive, it was never going to work. Once Christine walked out the door and Janelle picked Christine and not Kody, he was done with Janelle because Janelle is not being loyal to him. He perceives it as a betrayal. He's a narcissist, by the way, and in my opinion. So Kody and her fighting about this and not making a priority is kind of like the same fight they were having last year. And I think at the end of the day, Janelle ends up leaving because, one, the money, Kody and Robyn are stealing money from them. Two, I think it's because he's demanding things of her that she doesn't want to do. She doesn't want to be like Robyn. Three, she doesn't want to stay in a family where she's, it's Kody and Robyn against her. Four, he's a terrible dad to her kids and he treated all of them terribly during COVID. And I think she just outgrew him and needed him. And I think once Christine left, it was like an aha, I don't need to stay. Now, it'll be interesting to see how she gets to this point in the evolution of it all, but this is where we're starting. Kody is not making her a priority, which is setting the stage for the storyline of her starting to leave. So I think her not feeling like Kody cares about her is her sort of wake-up call in a lot of ways. And I would say that's a good wake-up call. And she shouldn't have to conform, to be like Robyn. I mean, that's boring. Why would you want to be like somebody else? And Robyn is not anyone's favorite. I mean, all she's probably going to do this season is cry. So what are your thoughts about this storyline? And do you think that it was because Kody didn't want to make her a priority? Do you think it's all bogus? Tell me in the comments below. Bye, guys.